Hey guys, it's Katie. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I wanted to make just this quick video to let you know what I'm working on and give you some ideas if you're thinking about making cloth face masks. Cloth face masks are not claiming to do anything as far as keeping you safe from viruses or any airborne invader of any kind. Most masks are mostly just to keep your germs to yourself. So just getting that out there so you know what you're getting yourself into. But I know a lot of people are interested in making cloth masks for themselves and to donate. I'm making some for my sister-in-law, and I figured I'd just make one for each of my family members just so that we have them for whatever comes down the road. Since I have the materials, I have the sewing machine, I can do it. So I was looking at different patterns online, and some of them, they're all basic. Like a lot of the ones with the pleats like this are all pretty similar. Some have ties, some have elastic. They're all a general similar design. This particular design with the bias tape, or these are just like self-made ties, they're not on the bias, but they have the same purpose. This I got this idea from watching Whitney at Whitney Sews, and she had a Sew With Me video where she kind of walks you through the process of making them. She's made like over 100 to donate, which is awesome. I'll link her video down below so you can see how she does it, how to make something like this. I like this pattern, or it's not even a pattern. She does give some dimensions, but a lot of the other tutorials are very exact as far as measuring pleats and all that. I can understand that some people want those step-by-step instructions, but this one she just did 2 pleats and you just kind of center them and eyeball them, and everything kind of works out. I also like the ties better than elastic. I feel like they give a better fit. They would fit a larger range of patients, or people who are wearing them. And also I don't think I'd like elastic pulling on my ears, especially because I have glasses. I just feel like it would get all tangled up. So I do like the ties. If you're going to make a pattern like this, I don't know if it's because I did too much of a seam allowance, and I don't know if that's why, but it seems kind of short to me. Maybe I just have a big schnoz. But anyway, I would probably make this a little wider. I think some of the other patterns I'm seeing are like 8 by 8, and that might be a better option. But anyway, the point of this video is to kind of show you an extra step that you can do to this pattern or lots of other patterns, and that is adding a nose wire. So if you can see right here, it's actually a wire in there, so you can mold it right around the bridge of your nose, and it gives you a tighter fit, so there's less gaps. I also like the wire because since I wear glasses, this point where it gaps is where all your hot breath comes up, and it goes right onto your glasses lenses and will fog up your glasses. So having that kind of tighter there helps keep your glasses from fogging up. It will still fog up a little bit, but it makes a big difference. So I wanted to show you how I did this. On this pattern, she has you doing 2 materials, and contrasting is better so that you have a face side and a facing the world side. But she has you put them right side together like that, and then you sew here and you sew here, and then you turn it, and then you can pleat it, and then you add the bias tape for the ties. So what I did instead is when I came here, I stopped here and then started again here and sewed here, and I backstitched at the beginning and the end of each of those segments of sewing. And so there was like a turning gap here, and a lot of the other patterns, if you're going on all 4 sides, they'll leave a turning place so that you can turn it right side out. So wherever your turning place is, you could probably insert this wire here. And so I left a gap, so then when I turned it right side out, it would look more like this, and there was a gap. And then what you are supposed to do, if you needed that gap for turning but you wanted to close it, you just top stitch over the top. But I top stitched leaving a little bit of the gap. So I sewed to there, and then I picked up again there. So right here it's actually open, and if you can see in there, I put pipe cleaner in there. And so I also just did 1 line of stitching right here to make sort of a casing to hold the pipe cleaner. Originally I sewed up to make it like a closed pocket so that it wouldn't wiggle around too much, but then I found it hard to insert because you have to kind of insert it all the way in and then slide it back, kind of like parallel parking. So I ended up taking the 2 stitches out at the end that were the ended there, and because it's kind of fuzzy, the pipe cleaner's fuzzy, and it's nice and tight in there, it's not gonna move around on you, I don't think. And then I left it open. So you could make this hole, this opening, bigger, and you can make the casing a little bigger. I think it would make it easier to get the pipe cleaner in and out, but the easier it is to get in and out, the more likely that it will wiggle around. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, in here I just have a little length of pipe cleaner, and you can use tweezers to get it out, or you can kind of just like bend it and pop it out. And I wanted to leave it open so you can take this in and out, because you'll want to remove this before you wash it, or else this would probably, at the very least, rust. At the very most, all this fuzz would come out and that would maybe stain your material. So you want to take this out. I would also just throw this away and use a new one of these. You could get like 4 lengths this size out of a regular size pipe cleaner, and you can get a pack of like 12 or something for 99 cents, so that's quite a few of these. But I would not reuse this just because of, you know, germ theory, and also as they're used they kind of get kinks and bends in them and they don't hold as well as they once did. Also, if you're finding that maybe your pipe cleaner, or you could use other kinds of wire too, like if you had vinyl coated wire that you use in the garden, something like that would work. If you find that your wire gauge is a little flimsy, you could double it up. If you were going to double up with something like this that's kind of fluffy, you might want to make your casing just a little bigger. I tried to put a doubled up one in here and I couldn't quite fit it, but if you make your casing a little bigger, then it should fit. And so to insert it, you just kind of find that opening. I did bend the very end of the pipe cleaner over just so it's a blunt end and it's not going to poke through, but you just kind of feed it in like that. And like I said, you want to push it all the way in and then back into the parking space. So push it all the way through until it goes down inside, and then just kind of work it this way. And like I said, this wire I put in and out a few times while I was kind of working on this last night, so it's a little bent and twisted, and so it's easier when it's like a fresh pipe cleaner. But then once it's in, you know, since I used a pretty small opening, you can't even really see it. And oh, there it is, like that. That's all you can see, and I don't think that's a problem at all. And then you just put it on your face and you kind of pinch it against the bridge of your nose, and it just holds, and it's pretty sturdy. You have to balance the tension of pulling these tight, because the more you pull this tight, the harder it is. The wire's going to need to be stronger to hold against your nose. So you have to kind of make this the right tension so that it's snug but not pulling on that. You see how it'll just straighten that wire out, but not so loose that it's gapping here and there and everywhere. So like I said, this addition could be added to most patterns, and in fact a lot of patterns do maybe have a gap here that that's left open on purpose, so you can add filter material to it if you wanted to. So if you already have a gap, all you would need to do is do this line of sewing, and then you'd work it in through, and you'd have to like maybe feed it in through that way. All right, anyway, that is just a quick video on adding a nose wire to cloth masks. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and be sure to check the description box to see the link to Whitney's video, and then I'll put a couple other videos that I saw about making masks and maybe helpful to you. Well, anyway, just some resources if you're interested. All right, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye!